my gosh, you guys, isn't this so exciting? I've been waiting for this since they were 17 years old. 16. So I want to kind of start off at the beginning. I know I can tend to talk a lot, but I got to give you a little bit of background. Number one, Matt was an only child for about 5-6 years, and he kept on saying, please, Mommy, give me a brother or sister, I don't care. So all of a sudden I'm pregnant with these girls, and it's so exciting. But I almost lost them a couple of times. So that was really difficult. So I prepared myself with being a labor room nurse that if my baby survived, they would be in NICU. They never saw NICU. She came out at 6'10", she came out at 7'10", pounds-wise, 3 weeks early. However, Susie spends a lot of time in NICU because she became a NICU nurse in the same labor room I worked in. That is fabulous. So as I'm raising them, it was kind of like I had triplets. I didn't have twins. The 3 of these kids, Matt, Chrissy, and Susie, you couldn't separate them. And they all have their different personalities. So Matt is the gentle, sweet person, has a lot of insight, has never said a mean word about anyone. Chrissy's the one you could wake up at 4 in the morning and it would be, oh my gosh, this is great, another day, let's have fun, just going for it. Susie, okay, let's see what we can plan for the day. Okay. The reason why she got the name Noonie is because someone asked her what her name was. She got attitude, put her hand on her hip and said, Noonie. So, I got a couple pictures here. So, you know, you're concerned, you wonder how your kids are going to be. Are they going to be okay? Then I realized Susie became the boss of me when she was about 3. We can also call her our family camp counselor. You know, everyone has a family member that's like that, where she will tell us all logically what we need to do and why. So it started at this moment. So now let's go through high school. All of a sudden, this really tall, cool kid comes in, and he's driving a white car. It's about this size, and when he gets out of it, it's like, oh my gosh. You know, what was it? What was your truck? Okay. So he comes in, and my carpets are just trash because I was the hangout house. So he comes in, he gets eye contact with me, which is really pretty cool for a 16-year-old, insists on taking his Jesus sandals off because he didn't want to ruin the carpet, and sat and talked to me like an adult for about a half hour. And I thought, hey, I kind of like this kid. Then we go to the farm, and we do work, and I have several kids in the van. He insists on paying for his own meal. What 16-year-old does that? So we kind of debated if it was $8 or $3, but for the next several years, we kept on passing that money back and forth with putting notes on it of who it belonged to. So then, as you guys, some of you know, I took pictures of everything, and this is a good time to say the reason why I was at your guys' ball games all the time and taking so many pictures of you wasn't because of me, but because of these guys. And they're like, Mom, will you go and take pictures? Because it'd be really creepy if we're doing it. So here it's a mom taking all these pictures of them for the girls. So, what'd you say? Okay, so all these kids are hanging out at the house. And I look, and I see the 2 of these guys dancing, and they're connecting. And I always have my camera ready to go. And I thought, this is a significant moment. I maybe need to document it. So this is actually the moment they came together. So now, they have turned into these awesome adults. Okay. Now, I'm almost done. As a parent, when your kids become older and they're getting married, you want them to be in a family that embraces them and loves them. And I can't thank the Miles enough, because I know Susie is going to be in the hands of a wonderful family. And you know how much we love Nathaniel. So thank you to everyone. I love you. And thank you to everyone that helped to pull this together.
Hi, everybody. I am Susie's other twin sister. Don't think about it too hard. I'm Nathaniel Miles' friend. He has a lot of friends because he has a lot of activities. He has a lot of hobbies. I am the one for the light duty hobbies. Small DIY projects, car shows, sad dad activities. Stuff that we can have snacks. It's true. It's true. However, we do have one activity that is on the Richter scale of physical, and that is in a canoe. I saw what you guys were doing. So, a canoe, it seems like an ideal craft for water, but it really makes a great metaphor for a best man speech. Yeah. I was supposed to get a laugh line. Which is convenient, because I'm giving one. Canoes always want a tip. And to get it to go where you want, you're constantly having to work. And if you don't paddle, you go nowhere real fast. Now, I have been married for a year and 3 days. Hold your applause. Thank you. So I am not here to dispense advice, but I am here to say, I'm sorry, Nathaniel, I can't be in your canoe anymore. But you found a good teammate, because she's not going to let it tip, and that's important. And she's going to make sure that you're focused and on the path that you want to be. And the most important part is the paddling. Because there's been a theme today, and it's about adventures. And the only way the adventure continues, whatever that adventure is, be it waking up with the person you love, or getting to share every moment with her, the adventure gets to continue when you keep paddling. So that's my advice, which I said I wasn't going to give. It's through all the stuff that can happen, even if it can tip over, whatever that might be. Even if it's maybe not going on the right way, whatever that might be. Keep paddling. Continue the adventure. That's why we're all here today. So thank you to the Miles and Johnson families. Wonderful event. And I say, without a glass, let's raise it to the continuing adventure. Paddle on. Best man speech done!
Hello. For those of you that don't know me, I am Chrissy, Susie's best twin forever. Just a little disclaimer here. This is the first thing I've ever written without Susie proofreading, editing, and then ultimately rewriting all together, so bear with me here. 6 years ago, my sister was up here and gave the most incredible speech at my wedding. While everyone was crying out of sentiment, I was crying out of, how in the world am I ever going to top this? And you know what? I can't. So I decided just to use yours. 29 years ago, in that fluorescent lit, chilled operating room, we screamed out our first breaths of life together in side-by-side warmers. Little did we know that over the next 2 decades, there would only be a handful of things we would not experience without each other. You know what? While it'd be easy just to copy Susie's speech, I find that I am unable to do so, for her theme was the idea that our world together would come to an end after marriage. But over the last 6 years, we have been closer than I even knew we were capable of. So I guess reluctantly, and with a little bit of wine, I am forced to write my own. I apologize in advance. Because of Susie, I always had a playmate to dance and sing with, build numerous forts with, and make dinner out of berries and mud. Because of Susie, I always had a partner and never had the fear of being left out. With Susie by my side, we most certainly could take on the world. Because of Susie, I always had someone to ugly laugh with at the most ridiculous things, usually at our brother Matt. Someone to talk to every night before bed, play flashlight tag with, eat candy, tell stories rather than sleep as Mom thought we were doing. Because of Susie, I learned that all actions have consequences. She held it over my head for years that one time I threw a 90% empty shampoo bottle at her. As children, I believe the conversation would go a little something like this. If you don't do blank, I'll tell Mom, Dad, and Brooke that you threw a shampoo bottle at me. But Susie, that was like 4 years ago. I finally realized that Susie would never tell on me. Susie didn't need to tell on me because she would just discipline me herself. Fair. Because of Susie, I was able to witness strength in difficult times. As we've had many tragedies, heartaches, and disappointments thrown our way, Susie has always been my rock. Rational as always, but also so sensitive. For every problem has a solution, and we will get through it together. While I would feel honored to say this was a twin thing, I know that is not the case. This is simply a Susie thing. She'll be the very first person there in a time of need, usually with a card and care basket in tow. Because of Susie, I always had a personal tutor and cheerleader on my side. As most of you know, Susie has high standards not only for herself, but for the people she surrounds herself with as well. Those nights I planned on playing Farmville on Facebook all night rather than studying for nursing exams were immediately ended with a raised eyebrow, tilted head, and a stern, "Aren't you gonna study?" Susie would then come sit next to me with her notes and books where she would begin to reteach me everything I should have learned in lecture. Because of Susie, I actually passed nursing school and became an RN. Because of Susie, at the age of 16, my theory that love was not a real thing quickly was disproven when I saw the way Susie and Nathaniel looked at each other. As it was described to us in the movie, It Takes Two. They had that can't eat, can't sleep, reach for the stars, over the fence World Series kind of stuff, right? They had a connection that was real. Nathaniel came into Susie's world and made her laugh again and brought her out of her shell. Is that my sister shimmying in the kitchen with Nathaniel? Oh, I like this guy. At the same time, I also got to learn what true heartbreak was during those times they broke up. It felt as though the whole world broke up when they were on a break. I know there are many of us that cried, yet some of us that sobbed. No names, Matt. But in the end, you two are meant to be together, and the universe would not have it any other way. Our sweet Harper came into the world when Susie and Nathaniel were on one of those heart-wrenching breaks. However, the whole Miles family were one of the families that made it over to meet our newest addition when Harper was merely 7 days old. From the moment Nathaniel took our precious child into his huge hands and held her for the first time, I just knew he had to be a part of our family forever. Because of Nathaniel, Susie's become quite the adventurer, exploring and loving life together. Because of Nathaniel, my very type A sister has learned how to stop and smell the roses. Because of Nathaniel, Susie has a partner to share the love of hobbies with. Also because of Nathaniel, my sister has become a very weird cat lady. Because of Nathaniel, I know my sister is the happiest I have ever seen her. Between her glistening smile and gleaming eyes, I know she has found true love and eternal happiness. Because of Nathaniel, I am proud to pass the baton to him to take care of, love, laugh, and live long, happy lives together. We all know how much Susie loves you, whether it's her candid babe or a watchful glance up at you. It's a reassuring reminder to all of us that the one is out there. Because of you two, my heart is full and happy. Welcome officially to the family, Nathaniel. Let's raise our glasses and toast to Susie and Nathaniel, to miles and miles and miles of happiness.
Also want to do a huge shout out to Susie, no longer Johnson, now Miles. Yeah, that's worthy of a clap. Legitimately, this wouldn't be happening if she hadn't planned every bit of it. So, thanks for that, babe. Also, little shout out before we cut the cake. It is my also twins, aunts, Sharon and Karen. It is a kind of a milestone birthday for them just recently. I'm not going to tell you which. You can just guess. I'll leave that on you. And then we also have a birthday coming up too. Debbie's birthday is Monday, correct? A little shout out there too. So thank you guys all for coming. Now we're going to cut the cake. Sorry for the distraction.